Welcome back to the Drone Bible. Today we're doing a video, or taking a look at a new capability from Lockheed Martin. It was displayed, got its debut, February 9th, 2026. People didn't even know such a thing could exist, but it's called the Lamprey. What's really cool about it, of course it's unmanned, but it's starting to set the yardstick what undersea warfare is going to look like over the next 10 years. It's somewhat, even I would have to say, a quantum leap above where we even thought we could be. This particular device, the Lamprey, what it does is crazy good. It launches torpedoes even, hello. Drones, it could go up to the surface and launch drones, kamikaze or otherwise. Also has the ability to communicate with the rest of the fleet net-centric on link 16. Now, most of us know that power is always the issue, fuel. In this particular case, it's electric, which then you would think, gosh, it's got such short range. No, what it does to recharge, it comes up, finds a ship, attaches itself, or a submarine, attaches itself to the hull parasitically, puts out little generators, and recharges the batteries. That's very ingenious and a crazy thing. So without any further ado, let's see what Mr. Tyler has to say about the Lamprey, and I'll see you on the backside.
Lamprey is an autonomous undersea drone. But that description is the same way you describe a Cessna and AB-21, technically accurate, completely useless. What Lockheed actually built is something that doesn't have a clean equivalent in the current fleet. It's a multi-mission underwater vehicle with a 24 cubic foot modular payload bay, electric quad thruster propulsion, an integrated hydrogenerator that lets it recharge underway, and an architecture designed from day one to hitchhike on host platforms instead of burning its own energy to get to the fight. And here's the part that should make every program manager in the Pentagon either furious or jealous. Lockheed did this in 14 months. Internally funded. Leveraging 2 decades of undersea technology they'd been quietly building. So let's talk about what Lamprey actually does, why it's being revealed now, and what it tells us about where the US Navy thinks the next fight is coming from. The story of Lamprey is the story of that 24 cubic foot bay. Most autonomous underwater vehicles are built around a single mission, their sensors, or their mine hunters, or their glider-class long-endurance ISR. Lamprey is built around the bay. The hull is the truck. What you put in the bay decides what kind of mission it flies. Lockheed has confirmed 3 primary payload categories. The first is lightweight torpedoes, anti-submarine weapons stowed inside the hull with the structural reinforcement, ejection systems, and fire control needed to actually engage a target. That alone makes Lamprey unusual. Most AUVs in this class are unarmed. Lamprey is not. The second category is small unmanned aerial systems. The concept imagery shows retractable twin-tube launchers, and in some configurations, 3 of those launchers are visible, implying a notional capacity of up to 6 drones launched from a submerged platform. Lockheed has not tied Lamprey to a specific UAS airframe, which tells you the architecture is deliberately open. Plug in whatever loitering munition or ISR drone the mission needs. The third category is decoys. EMAT-class acoustic countermeasures designed to mislead adversary sensors, mask friendly platforms, and disrupt enemy targeting solutions. Combine those 3 payload categories and you have a single hull that can hunt submarines, project airborne ISR or loitering strike, or run deception operations, all from underwater, all autonomously. Here's the operational problem Lamprey is built to solve. The Pacific is enormous. From Pearl Harbor to the Taiwan Strait is roughly 5,000 miles. From Guam to the South China Sea is over 1,500. Submarine-launched autonomous systems sound great until you do the math on battery life and propulsion energy. By the time a conventionally powered AUV reached the operational area, half its endurance is gone before the mission even starts. Lockheed's answer is the hitchhiking architecture. Lamprey is designed to attach to a host platform, a submarine, a surface vessel, potentially even a fixed undersea node, and ride. While it's attached, it's not burning its own energy. It can also recharge through an integrated hydrogenerator, harvesting kinetic energy from water flow to top off batteries during transit. That means when Lamprey detaches and begins its mission, it's starting from full power and it's already in the operational area. This is a different design philosophy than the U.S. Navy's existing extra-large UUV programs like Orca. Orca is its own platform, large, autonomous, and self-deploying. Lamprey is a force multiplier, smaller, modular, designed to extend the reach of platforms the Navy already operates. They're not competing. They're complementary. And the strategic implication of hitchhiking is significant. It means the Navy can preposition Lamprey-class assets without dedicating a launch platform to the mission. A Virginia-class submarine on a routine deployment can carry Lamprey assets, drop them in a contested area, and recover them or leave them in place. That changes the math on how many distributed effects you can project per hull. The most underreported piece of the Lamprey reveal was the imagery Lockheed chose to show alongside it. F-35s. That's not an accident. That's a signal. The future of undersea warfare isn't going to be submarines hunting submarines in isolation. It's going to be cross-domain. A submerged sensor identifies a target, hands the targeting data off to an airborne platform. The airborne platform either prosecutes the engagement or hands it to a surface combatant, and the entire kill chain happens in seconds across 3 different domains. Lamprey, with its UAS launch capability and its sensor flexibility, is built to operate inside the kill chain rather than alongside it. Think about what that means tactically. A Lamprey deployed forward can detect an adversary surface combatant or submarine, launch a small UAS from underwater for visual confirmation and last-mile targeting, hand that data to an F-35 or a Triton or a P-8, and the strike platform never has to expose itself to the adversary's sensor envelope. The undersea drone takes the targeting risk. The airborne platform takes the shot. The adversary doesn't know where the kill chain started. That's not just a tactical improvement. That's a different concept of how naval combat works. And it's why Lamprey shouldn't be evaluated on its own specs alone. It should be evaluated as a node in a network. Now let's talk about what we don't know. Because in a reveal like this, what's missing is sometimes more interesting than what's shown. Lockheed has not publicly disclosed Lamprey's range, its speed, its operating depth, its endurance, or its unit cost. Those are the figures that determine whether Lamprey is a niche capability or a fleet-wide system. We also don't have public information on the autonomy stack, meaning we don't know how independent Lamprey actually is when it's detached from a host. We don't know its acoustic signature. We don't know its communication architecture. And we don't know which Navy program of record it's competing for, or whether it's being pitched outside the existing program structure entirely. Some of that is normal classification. Some of it is competitive positioning. Lockheed is showing enough to interest the customer without showing enough to let competitors design against it. And some of it, frankly, is that the system is still maturing. A 14-month development cycle is fast. Even leveraging 2 decades of internal technology, there are going to be capability claims in the reveal materials that haven't been demonstrated end-to-end yet. The question I'd be asking if I were sitting in a Navy program office is this: how much of Lamprey is operational reality, how much is engineering pathway, and how much is concept slide? Because the difference between those 3 shapes whether Lamprey is in the fleet by 2028, 2032, or never.
Well, we're at the end of our presentation on the Lamprey. Now the hard stuff begins. Lockheed Martin has to make it happen. If they can achieve this type of technology, it will be, again, one more game changer, a quantum leap ahead for the U.S. and the battlefield as well. The Lamprey doesn't fight on its own. Actually, because it's multi-role, it even hitchhikes. It carries stuff. It senses stuff. It deceives things. It's incredible. It really does operate in cross domains, being able to launch drones or torpedoes. That's a cross domain right there. The real question isn't if Lockheed Martin is going to be able to make this architecture work. Rather, it's if Lockheed can move quick enough and get it into the fleet before an adversary can field a countermeasure to the Lamprey. I hope you enjoy this presentation. I'm Peter Brusso, and thank you for visiting the Drone Bible. And I'll see you on the web.
If this data card was useful, hit like. It helps other defense professionals find the channel. Subscribe for new platform cards every week. This is the Drone Bible.